How to replace a broken ceiling fan like this with a smart fan like this. Alexa, turn on the bedroom light. All right, it is time to replace the fan in our master bedroom. It stopped spinning. Did some troubleshooting to try to fix it. I just removed the old one. The outlet was actually smoking a little bit at one point, so that's not good. I'm not 100% sure if it's the outlet. I'm pretty sure I tested it and it was still good. So bottom line, I'm just gonna replace the old fan with a brand new one. So the new one that I got is supposed to be Alexa enabled, which will be pretty sweet. This is the brand here, Geinself. Got this on Amazon. I feel like it was less than 150 bucks, if I remember right. I could double check that. But I will definitely post a link to this in the description. And keep watching and I will give you my thoughts on how well it works and my quick review on whether I like it or not. It's been like a year without the fan working. I keep putting it off because it's a little bit of a project. So today I decided it's time to freaking work on this thing. And I also have my 17-year anniversary coming up, and I felt like the least I could do is get this fan fixed for my wife because she loves having the fan. Just get everything out. Looks like we got the mounting screws. If you just get all the stuff ready, it just makes it sweet when you're going through the steps to put everything together. Got the fan blades here. All right, make sure you get everything out of the box. Got a remote here too. So I'm just gonna move this out of the way. This shows you your tools you're gonna want. Oh yeah, got the step ladder here. Definitely a must. Screwdrivers, potentially electrical tape, and wire nuts. I think it comes with them, yeah. We've got wire nuts that are in here, so that's good. Quick look at all the pieces you need. It's time for the most important part of any project. You gotta have an energy drink. Now we're gonna install this one. And I think I'm actually gonna use the same screws that were already used for the old bracket. I'm just putting these red washers on this other screw that I have just to make sure that it fits well. So when you go up into the bracket, you can see it's more secure there. One thing I'll mention is I do have the light switch power off. I do not have the main power off yet. Doing that bracket, I recommend that you do turn it off. I just didn't because I knew that the wires are okay there and the power's cut to it. So now you want to undo these screws, pull that pin out, pull this off until you've got just the cylinder there. Pull the pin out. Okay, if you just loosen them, then that'll slide right out. And I dropped that. So these are pieces you don't want to lose. So you can put all the pieces together right there. Now take the motor and remove these 3 screws. So it has a washer on it, so it might be okay to just do it, but it is not fitting very well onto the screw. That's one thing that's odd. These washers are definitely too small. It's just not working. Okay, already a little disappointed. The instructions are wrong. That says B with C, and then step 4 says A, and that you use screw B to mount the blade onto this metal bracket, and then you use A to mount that onto the motor. It's wrong. You're supposed to swap those screws. If you look at this metal mount, these screws with the little washer fit great inside that and stick through. If you look at this screw, it's shorter, has a washer built in. It does not fit through. So misprinted instructions. So this should say A right there. That should say B. Here we go. This washer actually will fit on this screw. So make sure you put the washer C on to the screw with the built-in washers. There you go. See, that looks good. The bottom line is you've got 2 types of screws. You can see the difference. This one here with the washer that's loose goes right into the motor assembly. This one with the washer that's solid goes into the red washer like this, into the fan blade, and that fits great. Okay, this fan blade is ready to mount onto the motor. I'm going to go through and get all the others ready. It's all doable. It's just little screws. You're trying to screw it in with your fingers first. It's just a little tricky, and I just feel like, I don't know, for a better DIY experience for the customer, this could easily come pre-mounted. Moving on to the last blade. I mean, look at this. There's a lot of pieces here. I just think it's unnecessary. I think they could design it a little better to have less parts to be putting together. Okay, so you've got the motor assembly. Make sure it's facing this way. And you line these holes up. And we're gonna mount this onto the motor. And you just wanna go around and do this for each one. And you'll put the 3 screws back in that you removed. Don't forget to plug this in or the lights won't work. Just want to set that in, and then you got to twist with this, like your right hand and your left hand towards each other to lock it in. Then you want to loosen these 2 screws. Make sure this is face up, so that little hole there is at the top. just had to raise that slightly while I pushed that pin in. Then you want to put the little safety pin in there as well. So you want to slide this on. Slide this piece on. You can feel this rubbery piece here. It kind of comes out, but if you keep pushing, it'll get on there. So put that pin in there and slide that up. You have to remember, make sure that the hole in this lines up with this hole. See, you got to slide that up, make sure the hole lines up for that second screw. So this one you'll tighten down as normal, but then this one has to fit inside the two holes. All right, we're ready to install the fan. So now I'm definitely going to turn the power off to make sure when I'm doing the wires and wire nuts that I don't get shocked. You've got this harness that goes into the receiver box, which is this for the remote. So this is going to allow the remote to control the fan and the light. I'm trying it this way to get the wires in. Then I will hang the fan and see if I can get that receiver box in there, but it's pretty tricky because everything's tight. So I am going to take the red wire and the black, put them together with the black from the receiver. Then the white will go with the white here. Then the green ground will connect to this ground that's on the bracket and the ground that's in the ceiling. And then there's also a ground on the fan right here. So I am wrapping this wire that's easy to twist around this hard black copper wire, then putting the red next to it, then screwing the wire nut on. All right, we've got the fan hung. Now I just need to finish wiring it up. And I just slid it over into the bracket where the gap is and then rotated the rod slightly until it fell. And now it feels secure. And now I've got to figure out the wiring here. Okay, I got these wired up. So I did the red and black to the receiver black, then did the white to the white, and then all four grounds in one. I did have to use larger wire nuts. This will be able to plug into the side of the receiver. So now I'm trying to figure out how to get the receiver up inside this and tuck all the wires up as well. I finally got the box up here, the receiver box. It's just so tight in that bracket. I think all they would have had to do is have this bracket go down slightly lower, and then it wouldn't be so hard to fit everything. I was wiring everything up in the box, the ceiling box. And then I was just finding it's too hard to get this receiver box slid in there. So I think ideally you should try to slide the receiver box. So you need to put the fan on first with the little ball mount into the bracket. Then you need to slide this receiver box in. The problem is I have wires all over. They're really stiff, hard copper wires. So you're probably gonna have to bend them out of the way a bit like this. And then you can get the receiver box to slide through. It's kind of smashing onto some of these. And then this one. Got it in there, and I think you wanna leave this little harness plugged in. Then I was able to wire up the white. I had a red and a black, so I wired those together to the receiver black. Had to put a bigger wire nut and put tape on there. Now you can see this ground that's from the ceiling. I've got this other ground that's on the mount. Another ground swinging around the other side that's, well, I think this one's from the bracket. This one's from the lamp. Just trying to show you there's all four ground wires right here. So I'm gonna try to get all these dang wires together. I had them together before, but it just wasn't working where they were at. I ended up having to route everything through to this side so it would plug in properly. Then this, I was able to plug into that. And now I'm gonna reach around and there's another spot and I'll be plugging this in right here. Okay, I've got everything mounted up. Took yellow wire connectors. They seem to be fitting okay. I had to put some electrical tape to reinforce the connection and keep them from falling off while jamming it all up in here. I took this white one and just curved it up into the bracket here to try to tuck this away. Now this is being stubborn, but I'm trying to fight to get this up. So I'm gonna work on that. Okay, I finally got it all up inside here, was able to push hard and twist to get these screws locked in. And now I'm just gonna try to tighten them down a little better. You can kind of push the fan sideways like this to access the screw. It's not very good with this screwdriver, as you can see it's angled, but I was able to tighten it down a little better. You could get a smaller screwdriver, a shorter one, and tighten it even more. But it's snug, it's not going anywhere. All right, it's installed. Now we're gonna go test it. I'm hoping that it works. Okay, we're turning the power back on. Whoops, turning the oven off. Right there. We did it. It's spinning. Hallelujah. Feels good too. I can feel the air. Oh, it's beautiful. The light is nice and bright. I like that. So for the remote, I just put the batteries in here. Light off, light on. Looks like you can program it to run for 1, 3, or 6 hours, and then it should auto shut off. Oh yeah, 4 went faster. Ooh, 5's going faster. Sweet. 6 is cranking. Look at that. Pretty quiet too, very smooth. Man, that feels really good. Okay, this is something to note. This is the power off button only. The numbers turn the fan on. So when you want to turn it on, you need to choose the speed that you want to turn it on. So I just pushed 4 and then boom, it started up. So then you can see what each does. Warm white, natural white, day white for the light. Okay, cool, warm white. So it's a little more yellow. That one's cool. So that one feels a little decent, a little better. And that one is more like daylight, bright. So let's get closer. Charlie girl, what do you think? Do you like it? Do you like the light and the fan? Okay, I got the app all set up. So here I'm showing you how to set up the device in the Tuya app. Download the app from the App Store to your phone. Then open the app and tap on Add Device and let it search for nearby devices. As you can see here, it found the fan. And next you'll want to enter your password to your Wi-Fi and make sure that it's a 2.4 gigahertz connection. You may have to adjust your Wi-Fi to make sure that it has a split connection for 2.4 versus 5. So let me know if you have more questions about that. And so as you can see, it connected and now we've got it set up. And now you can go through the different settings for the fan and the light. And this is pretty sweet. You can use the app from your phone to control the fan if you want. You also have the remote you can use, and then you can program Alexa to turn it off and on as well. So now we're going through the steps to connect it to Alexa. So as you go through this, you'll tap on the Alexa logo there. Then it's going to have you link it with Alexa and basically add the skill. So just go through that process, and then you can see it pop up there that it's been linked. And I do have the Amazon Alexa app already on my phone and logged in. So you want to make sure you do that as well. So now you can go to your Alexa app and then place it where you want. If you have like a group, like in my case, like the master bedroom, you can add it to that group, and then you'll be able to control it from Alexa. So this part, just kind of have to play around with it a little bit, just to understand where to put things and how it works within the Alexa app as well. So that's what I'm doing here, just making sure it's all connected properly. And so from what I'm seeing, the skill is connected, so everything should be working. All right, I got Alexa set up. Alexa, turn off the bedroom light. Alexa, turn off the bedroom fan. You can see the fan turned off. Alexa, turn on the bedroom fan. Alexa, turn on the bedroom light. So the fan's starting to gain speed now. Alexa, turn up the fan speed.
Ceiling fan doesn't support that.
Alexa, increase the ceiling fan speed.
Ceiling fan doesn't support that.
See, it doesn't work. So then you have to grab the remote to turn up the speed. All right, final thoughts. So far, I'm excited that it's working. It's been a long time coming. It was kind of a beast to install. I knew it would be, that's why I kept putting it off. But I tore into it and finally got it going. I know my wife is gonna be super stoked to have the fan back. A few things, I'm definitely impressed with how quiet it is. It's spinning pretty smoothly, very quiet. I love the brightness of the light and that it's LEDs. I also love that you can adjust the color of the lights to other colors. I love the remote. I know there's so many times we're going to be laying down on the bed and just wish that we could control the fan and turn it on and off. I also appreciate the different speeds. I love that you can crank it high if you want, if it's pretty hot in the summer, or you can turn it lower like in the winter if you want to just kind of move the air in the house but keep the heat on. It just makes it kind of nice that way too. One of the things that I noticed is that the wires are a little short on the receiver connectors for the remote. They could have been a lot longer. That would have made it nicer. It was also just challenging to mount that receiver box up in there. I think the bracket could be a little bit longer to be able to fit more. So I say yes, you can buy this fan. It looks pretty sweet, but just be prepared for a few little quirky issues and watch my video to make sure that you go through the steps that I show you and you can avoid some of the mistakes that I made. I'll put the link to the fan in the description. You can buy that on Amazon. I hope you found this video helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more helpful videos from Dan Good Dad.